I am Vex'thara, third Scion of the Kael Dominion, bearer of the Obsidian Crest, and sworn Auditor of the Armory Accord. My carapace still hums from the jump fold, the after-echo of starlight compressed into a single heartbeat. Earth rotates beneath me, a bruised pearl wrapped in cotton clouds. From orbit it looks fragile, almost apologetic. My mission scroll etched in living crystal pulses against my thorax. Observe, test, subjugate if necessary. The Accord has conquered 93 worlds without once drawing blood. We prefer the elegance of inevitability. The descent pod sighs open over a plateau of cracked red stone. Heat shimmers. The air tastes of iron and distant rain. I step onto the surface expecting the usual choreography. A delegation in ceremonial robes. A measured exchange of pheromonic salutes. The quiet signing of surrender. Instead, silence. Wind combs the dust into slow spirals. My sensory fronds register nothing, no honor guard, no sonic beacons. No trace of the planetary governor the Accord's probes promised. Then, movement. Alone, figure crests the ridge. Human. Female. Barely adolescent by their metrics. She wears a garment the color of dried blood, torn at the knees, and carries a length of scavenged rebar like a shepherd's crook. No translator bead, no diplomatic sigil. She stops 10 paces away, plants the rebar, and stares. Her pupils are wide, black moons in a pale sky. My fronds taste adrenaline, curiosity, something sweeter defiance. Protocol demands I initiate the greeting of equals. I broadcast the harmonic sequence. A descending triad that means, in every tongue the Accord has catalogued, we come in peace. Kneel and prosper. The girl tilts her head. A grin splits her face, all teeth and sunburn. She answers with a single word in her guttural language, cool. Cool. The universal translator stumbles over the nuanced temperature. Approval? Dismissal? My crest ridges flush indigo with irritation. This is not how submission begins. She gestures at my pod, then at the sky, then at herself. The rebar taps the ground in rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2. An invitation? A challenge? I cycle through 17 cultural matrices and find no match. The Accord trained me for silence, for awe, for the dignified collapse of lesser wills. Not for a child playing percussion with scrap metal. I should withdraw, summon the fleet, mark this world for orbital correction. Instead I stand rooted, fascinated by the way her pulse flutters at the hollow of her throat, visible, even at this distance. A frantic bird beating against bone dot. The moment stretches, elastic. Dust devils spin between us like hesitant dancers. I taste the planet's breath. Ozone, sage, the copper tang of old blood baked into stone. Somewhere far off, thunder growls out, then the ground shudders. Not metaphor. Literal seismic betrayal. A fissure zigzags beneath the girl's feet, exhaling steam and the stench of sulfur. She stumbles. The rebar clatters. My sensors scream tectonic shear, magnitude rising fast. The plateau is a tectonic hinge, and something ancient is waking beneath it. Protocol evaporates. I lunge forward on jointed limbs, servos whining. The girl sees me coming and illogically waves me back. Her mouth shapes a word I now parse. Run. She is warning me. Me, whose carapace can withstand plasma lances. Me, whose species seeded stars while hers was still napping flint. The earth bucks. A slab of stone the size of a frigate tilts upward, revealing a chasm glowing cherry red. From it rises a sound like a dying moon. The girl is directly above the breach. She could leap sideways, save herself. Instead she drops to her knees, digs her fingers into the crumbling edge, and hauls. A smaller figure tumbles from the far side of the fissure, a human child. No more than 5 solar cycles, clinging to a frayed rope of electrical cable. The cable snaps. The child dangles over incandescent darkness. Time dilates, the way it does in deep fold jumps. I see every detail. The girl's knuckles whitening, the child's sneakers kicking air, the sweat carving pale runnels through the dust on her cheeks. My combat subroutines calculate trajectories, failure rates, optimal intervention vectors. The numbers are merciless. The child will fall. The girl will follow trying to save him. Both will be vapor. I am already moving, but I am too far that the girl does not wait. She braces her feet against a spur of rock, wraps the cable around her forearm until the skin splits and pulls. The child rises an inch too. The spur cracks. The cable frays. She looks straight at me, eyes fierce, unafraid, and mouths another word I do not need translated. Please. Please. As if I am the one in peril. The chasm widens. Magma kisses the air, hissing. I could still retreat, seal the pod, ascend to orbit, file a report. Planet unstable, population non-viable. The Accord would applaud my prudence. Instead, I do something no Kael has done in 9 centuries. I improvise. I tear the emergency flare from my thorax plate, a restricted weapon, meant for signaling fleets, not rescue. Its core is a captive star. I hurl it into the fissure. The flare detonates in a silent bloom of white. Superheated plasma flash boils the magma into glass. The chasm seals with a sound like continents kissing. The girl and child tumble backward onto solid ground. The plateau stabilizes, sighing. Steam coils upward, carrying the smell of scorched stone and something else, ozone. Blood, relief. Silence returns, heavier now. The girl sits up slowly. The child clings to her, face buried in her neck. She meets my gaze. No gratitude, yet only assessment. Then she does something that rewrites every axiom in my mission scroll. She laughs, not mockery. Joy, pure and solvent. It bubbles out of her like spring water, and the child joins in, high and piping. The sound ricochets off the cooling glass of the sealed chasm. Bright as shrapnel. I stand frozen, flare residue still sparking on my claws. My internal logs stutter, trying to file this under threat or anomaly or cultural curiosities. None fit. The girl rises. She limps to the rebar, hefts it, and deliberately offers it to me, handle first. A weapon, extended in trust. My fronds taste the iron in her blood where the cable flayed her skin. She is shaking, but her chin lifts. The child peeks over her shoulder, eyes round with wonder at my bioluminescent crest. I take the rebar. It is warm from her grip, primitive, laughably crude. And yet it saved a life where my technology hesitated. In that instant the galaxy tilts. I see the Accord's 93 conquered worlds with new eyes. Planets that knelt because they calculated survival and found surrender optimal. None fought with scrap metal and laughter. None bled for strangers while staring extinction in the face. Humans are not a lesser species. They are a singularity. I broadcast the abort code to the fleet lurking in the Oort cloud. The crystal scroll at my thorax cracks, mission parameters dissolving like sugar in rain. In their place I etch new glyphs: trembling, alliance, co-dominion, mutual defense. The girl watches me, head cocked. I kneel ceremonial, this time, and press the rebar to my crest. The metal leaves a rust-colored streak across the obsidian. A scar, a promise. Night falls swift in these latitudes. Stars ignite overhead, unfamiliar constellations that suddenly feel like home. The child falls asleep against the girl's side. She strokes his hair, then looks at me and whispers a word I finally understand without translation. Friends? I answer in her tongue, voice gravelly through the translator. Yes. Wind returns, gentler now, carrying the scent of rain. Somewhere far below, the planet's heart settles back into rhythm. I sit beside them, carapace to human warmth, and for the first time in my life I am not auditing. I am witnessing. Humanity is not a species to be catalogued. It is a force that rewrites physics with hope. Give them a rebar and a heartbeat, and they will seal hell itself. The Accord will call this treason. Let them come. I have seen what happens when a human child laughs in the face of a dying star. We will burn the old maps together, fade to black on 3 silhouettes against a sky remade. Alien, girl, child. The rebar rests across my knees like a scepter. Somewhere in the dark, thunder applauds.